So, some time back, I posted a question on my account on why is it so difficult to practice detachment, and it was quite cute because I actually received that question quite often from some of my followers and some of the people that I've coached before. But many of you actually thought that I was the one asking the question, and then you offered all your advice and all that, which was very sweet and very cute. So I do appreciate that. But that question actually wasn't from me, okay? So let's get right into the topic. If you see me looking away from the camera, it's because I took some brief notes just to make sure that I cover all the points that I wanted to cover, okay? So this whole notion of detachment, okay, is very intriguing, and it's a trigger for many people, especially those of you who are very, very attached to different things, okay? Whether it's your relationships, or whether it's your career, or your identity that you've built, or anything. And a couple of you actually did message me and said, oh, it depends on what, it's okay to be attached to certain things. And I think what we need to really clarify, and again, this is my perspective, okay, from my humble understanding and passion for coaching and wellness and holistic well-being. So I think what we really need to understand here is that it is not wrong to have desire, it's not wrong to have life experiences, it's not wrong to have goals and all that, that's perfectly fine. But a lot of our suffering, a lot of our anxiety, a lot of our pain comes from not being aware of the fact that everything here that we experience in life is really temporary. Okay, and the more you try to hold on to it, fixate on it, obsess about it, sometimes the more you're actually going to drift away from it, because it creates this feeling of lack, of desperation, of panic, of worry. Okay, and that feeling of desperation is going to drive away whatever it is that you're seeking sometimes, okay? So it's going to drive away whatever it is that you're seeking. So for us to detach more effectively, we need to realize that it is really sort of a paradox. As much as we want to attract certain life experiences, if we are too obsessed over its lack, then what happens is we are going to have this feeling of scarcity, of limitation, and this desperate energy is not going to do us any good, okay? So another tip on how we can detach, of course, is to have faith. And faith is something that's often easier said than done, but just an observation in general, okay? If you claim that you have faith in God or this deity that you pray to, Jesus, Guan Yin, Buddha, whoever that you're praying to, okay, or the universe, okay, this trust, then you need to surrender to the fact that God has heard your prayers, because if you truly believe in this all-powerful deity and this omnipresent presence, then you need to respect and surrender to the fact that God is going to give you, and God has heard your prayers, and God's going to answer your prayers, or God is going to answer it in a way that is best for your overall well-being, okay? And you need to surrender and humble yourself and trust that, okay? Because I've often observed people who claim to have faith, and they pray, and yet there's this huge sense of anxiety and fear and negativity about them that I just couldn't quite understand. If you claim that you do have faith, then it's a huge insult to the God that you're praying to, that you worry so much and that you have so much of anxiety, okay, although you claim to have faith, all right? So another tip on how we can better detach ourselves is to focus in the present moment, okay? So whatever it is that we want, okay, whether it's a career, whether it is this special someone that you wish to date, whether or not it's another life goal, okay, whatever it is that you want, if it's not in your life right now, okay, what you can do to help you to detach from that is to direct your attention to what you already have going right in your life, okay? And to really bring your attention to the present moment and appreciate everything it is that you have right now, okay? So you really extract as much joy as you can from whatever it is that you have going right, because that is going to help to uplift your spirits and take your attention away from that absence or from that void, and that's going to help you to detach a lot more effectively. And when you're more vibrant, you're more energetic, you're more positive, you're more optimistic, you're just enjoying life, what happens is it's really going to clear the path for you to see opportunities, for you to attract what you want into your life, okay? Fundamentally, we came into this earth alone, and we are going to leave alone. So any baggage that we carry, okay, is just going to weigh us down eventually. And think of it this way, okay, if you're climbing a mountain and you are gathering rocks and you keep putting these rocks into your pocket, okay, everything is going to feel heavier and heavier and heavier. The further up that you go, everything is going to get heavier and heavier, okay? And it's very interesting because I think this topic of detachment is a trigger for many people. And if I may say, it especially triggers those who are very, very deeply attached to different things, okay, whether it's relationships, career, their status, or whatever it is that they're trying to cling on to and hold on to. So I feel that this topic of detachment especially triggers these people, and it's kind of obvious when it does, okay, because they start responding with, oh, well, it depends on what, and there are certain forms of attachments which are good. Well, if I may challenge you, I actually feel that we should detach ourselves from everything. And that does not mean that we do not experience things. We can still experience relationships, experience different adventures in life, whatever goals it is that we want to pursue. I think that's perfectly fine. But fundamentally, we have to understand that the experience is going to be temporary, even when it comes to relationships, ultimately it could be death, disease, or just disagreements, eventually it is going to fizzle away, and we need to realize that even when we are in a relationship. And I feel that that is going to create a lot more space, between people, so that they can really grow and do what they want, and so that they can really give their best to the relationship without that feeling that they are being stifled, or held down because of the relationship. People who are sort of judging you for being detached, or if they sort of start to panic because you seem to be more independent and detached from various outcomes, or maybe even detached from hanging out with them, most of the time these people are the ones who are very codependent on you, and usually they are dependent on you for their happiness. They are dependent on you to do things for them, and you need to see through that and understand that people who are truly capable of putting in the effort to find contentment, joy, and take responsibility over their own lives are not going to put that burden on you. Okay, and again, yes, you can hang out with them, you can have fun with people, but nobody should make you feel guilty for focusing on your own joy and on trying to make your own progress in whatever it is that you're working towards. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's your journey here on earth, and you cannot carry everyone with you at the same time. Okay, and the best way you can actually help a lot of people is by showing them how it is possible for you to create a life that you love, independently, so that they can see that they can really do it themselves without having to guilt trip or emotionally blackmail anyone to do it for them. Okay, so those are some of the tips that I have for you when it comes to practicing detachment, and I hope that it helps you in some way. And do subscribe to my channel if you find the content inspiring, and thank you so much for listening. I'll see you again. Bye.